explosion which took place in a covert gambling hall not long ago. Eyewitnesses claim they heard the sound of explosives being detonated in the establishment. However, the building was deserted by the time firefighters and police arrived on the scene. With the horror of gang violence still fresh in our minds, the incident only raises tension across the city.
Sounds like the plan didn't go so well.
They were desperate. Still, we did manage to talk to Hamura.
Which is how you found out Shona was the one giving him orders, right? Not Director Kido.
Yeah, at least that's a look he was giving us.
You can tell that just from a look?
Give me a break. I don't know how else to put it.
Well, I guess that look is all we have to go off.
Did you come to taunt me or help me?
Don't be mean, Yagami-san. Of course I came to help.
Help how?
I found someone who's an expert on AD9. Looking into that research paper might be our best and I don't know about you, but I can't understand a word of what it says.
Yeah, same.
But I found somebody who can.
I'm impressed. Good work, Hoshino-kun.
Just don't get mad, okay?
Mad?
Well, the expert I found, it's...
What?
Please,
That guy? Seriously?
He said he'd tell us what we want to know, if you asked him nicely.
Yeah, you know what? Let's drop it.
Yagami-san.
What?
This isn't an opportunity we can afford to miss.
But if we ask him for help now, he's gonna want something in return later.
But come on, Yagami-san. Get going.
Wow, really? And stay down. You don't give up, do you? What a waste. Hatori-san?
Oh, I didn't notice you there, Yagami-san.
Don't tell me you're using a phone camera to take pictures for your article.
Resolution on these things is plenty high nowadays. You have a problem?
Not really, no. Just didn't know sensationalist food columns were a thing.
I only report on things that...
Well, is it gonna take a while? I'm here to talk.
Don't worry, I'll be done soon. All right. Kinda strange sharing a bowl of ramen with you. I thought the day would never come.
Can you not?
Relax, Yagami-san.
Are you still working for Kajira?
I'm not sure I'd go that far. He just calls me in for favors every now and again. Helps to be on good terms with the guy. For my job, you know?
Uh-huh.
It'd be nice to be close with you, too, Yagami-san. I heard you were the one who discovered Shintani-sensei's corpse, after all.
I'm here to talk 89. If that's not what this is about, I'm not sticking around.
All right. But you'll owe me for this. Generally, drug development starts with the discovery of a compound that can treat a given disease. That compound becomes the candidate for a drug. They then test its effects on animals, after which the drug heads to clinical trials. Which is a nicer way of saying human experimentation, by the way. As for the it can take years, sometimes even longer, to ensure a drug is truly safe for public consumption.
Yeah, it's tough, I get it.
Before now, Alzheimer's drugs have only been able to slow the progress of the disease. None can cure it completely. But Director Keto's 89 proved remarkably effective at doing just that when tested on mice. If it can work on humans as well, maybe we can finally kiss Alzheimer's goodbye. At least, that's what the paper they published a year ago claimed.
Interesting.
Yagami-san. In this country, 1 in 4 people over the age of 80 is affected by dementia. That means for a couple in their 50s, there's a good chance that one of their parents has it. And the odds that one member of that couple will develop it themselves is 50-50. No matter how you look at it. If I ever experience symptoms myself, I'd go to In some cases, they can slow the I guess my point is, dementia is not something to fear. Our biggest enemy is ignorance and apathy.
Yeah, if you say so.
Good.
Well, you're gonna, even if I say no, right?
You bet I would. Out of all the diseases that can cause when that happens, nerve cells start.
So to put this in
That's one way, but even that is just.
And when your brain shrinks?
Your memory. Let me explain. Alzheimer's and I'll give you an example that stuck with me. When doctors asked a dementia patient, but when asked the year, the patient said 9. You see, dementia not only inhibits new memory.
Think you can repeat that? I'm not sure I caught it all.
Out of all the diseases that can cause dementia, Alzheimer's accounts for roughly 70% of cases. It's believed to be brought about by buildup of. When that happens,
So to put this in layman's.
That's one way, but even that is just.
And when your brain shrinks?
Your memory is impaired. Let me explain. Alzheimer's impaired. I'll give you an example. When doctors asked it, but when asked the year, you see, dementia not only inhibits new memories.
I think I understand.
Good.
So how exactly does 89 cure Alzheimer's?
According to their research, it brought about a process.
Which is what?
It's a Greek word that, in other words, all the amyloid beta.
Instantly.
Yes, their Alzheimer's stopped progressing entirely. The most shocking thing is that even brain cells which had lost, as one researcher put it, it's as though if they can bring about similar effects in humans,
They'll have a cure for Alzheimer's.
That's right. If they actually complete this drug, it could true. It's nothing short of a dream drug for both.
If you ask me,
Excuse me?
I mean, the vice director of the ADDC suspected when he started digging around, someone offed him to keep their secret safe.
What kind of secret are we talking?
Like the drug's effects being falsified.
No, there's no chance of that. Since the announcement of 89, countless animals. It's no fabrication. One test after another, they've proven its viability.
And you're sure?
Yes. I'm of the mind they should push forward faster, even if the paper wasn't. After all, dementia drugs are being developed It would be a shame if someone. Kito-san is far too cautious. They need to move to clinical trials and get this thing out.
By which you mean?
Experimenting on humans.
Wait.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just... Are you
I guess there is an interesting detail. Kido-san, but in truth, he only put his name on the paper to lend it credibility. The key researcher was someone else entirely. A guy you know, too, man.
So the one I want. So you're saying Shono's the creator of 89?
Seems so. They needed a lead. That kind of thing is pretty common, though. Not really a
Shono. What's your...
Yo, welcome back.
Hey there, Yagami-san.
The gang's all here, huh?
How did things go with Hatori-san?
Yeah, I get...
Wait, are you saying there isn't actually anything up with 89?
That's what Hatori said, yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing about Kido not really being involved, though. It's possible Shono's hiding the truth from even him.
Maybe. But first, one term in particular stuck with me from my chat with Hatori-san.
Which is?
Human experimentation.
Go on.
Apparently, 89 is just about ready to be tested on real human subjects.
Well, that's gross. Side effects include bloating, blindness, and death, right?
Knock it off.
Sorry. What's bothering you about that, Yagami-san?
Well, it's just... I've just been thinking... What if all these murders were secretly experimental trials for 89?
You're serious?
If Shono's the one behind all this...
What? You think this guy
Guess it's a bit of a stretch, huh?
Even if this is a dimension...
No, but what, like, they didn't want...
It was perfectly fine if it ended up killing someone, then...
Yeah, wait a second.
What if 89...
If that was the case, they'd need to perform a ton of experiments to make sure it was fixed. Which is why...
Back it up. If they're... I mean...
That's true.
Actually, it says here that they test new drugs on healthy humans as well. They're the control group to make sure...
Yeah, eventually. It wouldn't make it...
But...
Just give it a rest. Try taking this seriously for once.
We are taking this seriously.
Says the dumbass...
The only dumbass here is the guy who can't consider all the possible...
Oh, is that right? Next you're gonna tell me they experiment on old man Waku too. Fuck. What?
That ends the guy who died, Waku-san. Didn't he have Alzheimer's?
Hey!
Huh?
Think about it, Kaito-san. Waku-san was an We know for a
Alright, cool your 89, didn't he?
True, but all the research...
Huh?
It's hard to say for... I have a few more thoughts about... Mind if we continue?
Actually, give me a second.
If 89 shit would...
You know.
I have a few more thoughts about this whole human experimentation theory. Mind if we continue?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, so... Let's say Shono did experiment on Waku-san. Why would he do that? They normally do a lot... What was his motive for testing it then?
Maybe he wanted to try his groundbreaking new drug on her. If it worked, He'd have the cure, and he'd have it without dealing with all the red tape.
That's possible. One little test wouldn't be a big deal, and if it meant curing Alzheimer's sooner...
But instead of doing what it was meant to do, 80, the more I think about it, the more it feels...
It's starting to make sense.
But now, I know this is all just a theory, but the pieces all seem to fit together.
Going down that path, but he murdered his...
Quit it, Sugiura. We'll get...
Yeah.
So, to summarize our theory so far. It all started 3 years ago when... But those tests are still ongoing. That's why Hamura had...
But wait, how would a guy like your run-of-the-mill researcher wouldn't have the cash or connection?
But what if someone close to him did?
Someone Shono knows who's got yakuza ties?
Shigeru Kajihira, chairman of the Kajihira Group.
I'm not so sure about that, Yagami-san. Think about it. The murdered Kyorei... Besides, there's no evidence of any connection.
I guess you have a point there.
Well, we can rule Kajihira out. Who was shown...
Ryusuke Kido, director of the ADDC.
Oh, I see what you mean. Kido would have access to ADDC funding. There's even been talk of him having ties to the Yakuza somehow, right? I think...
I don't know if that's really true.
Why?
He was so proud. Innocent, even. But if...
Kid's got a point.
That would still make sense, right? First, Shono gets thrilled about the possibilities. Kido proudly presents there's no turning back after that, even if he found out about the experiments. That's probably how Shono got Kido on his side. He then used Kido's funding and connections to bring in Hamura and the Mole. It feels like all the pieces are falling into place.
That means Kido's not actually the one in charge.
Right.
Let's say you're right. When did Shono start using this guy? What?
When those Kyorei guys started getting their eyes gouged out. That would make the most sense.
Well, that's pretty damn recent.
If he didn't hire somebody to do it, maybe it really...
No, that doesn't fit with the... Hashiki inching closer to the truth about 80... So, Shono hired someone to off him.
The man in the black raincoat. Oh, that must have been his first job.
Yeah, only the...
Can't argue with that.
Who knows how...
Yeah, and if he had, that seems like a plausible motive to me.
So what, everything just makes sense? I don't know.
If you have something to say it.
I mean, it all sounds almost...
What do you mean?
If Shono killed Wakusan at the ADDC 3 years ago, then Okubo, the primary suspect in the case, would be totally in...
Yep. Already proved that in court, remember?
But Okubo, he killed his girlfriend right after. He stabbed her over and over. Reeked of booze, too, even though he was supposed to be dry. Defend him all you want. That's why the whole thing was such a big deal. It took the death of an innocent girl for them to realize that Okubo... Yet here you are. But you just don't want to feel responsible.
Enough, Sugiura! You're way out of line, and you don't know shit!
Look, I know I get swept all the same. I'm trying to be fair here.
Oh.
So if we want to treat Yagami-san's theory like it's the truth, then we'll have to figure out whether or not Okubo is innocent. If he...
And how are you suggesting we do that?
It's simple. We just go to Okubo and ask if he did it.
You want to talk to him face to face? Meeting with a death row inmate isn't that easy.
A lawyer like you should have no problem setting that up.
He can't stand me, though. From day one, Okubo insisted he was innocent. That he didn't... But I abandoned him.
Fine. But that's a pretty weak excuse for not going to talk to him. If you really want to pursue this case...
Well?
Hoshino-kun,
Yes?
let's go talk to Okubo. Think you can arrange that for me?
I can try. Let me get in touch with the prison.
Thanks. I'll be looking over the old case files.
All right.
Really, guys?
Oh, Yagami. You need something?
Mind if I look over a case file? The ADDC one from 3 years ago. I'm seeing Okubo soon.
Huh?
Hold on. I'll go pull the documents up.
Thanks, Ari-san.
How's it going, Yagami-san?
Oh, not bad. What do you have there?
The files for Emi Terasawa's case.
Well,
Yagami-san, if you really don't need them, just...
Emi Terasawa, 26 years old at time of death. December 2nd, 2015, about 11 p.m. Her body is found on the second floor of a burnt-out apartment building. 15 stab wounds to the chest, presumably inflicted while she was still alive. Cause of death? Blood loss. No ash in her lungs, so she didn't inhale any smoke. Emi died before the fire started. Shinpei Okubo, the victim's boyfriend and roommate, was found at the scene and arrested. Murder weapon is thought to be a kitchen knife. It was covered in Okubo's prints. Okubo was wasted out of his mind when firefighters arrived at the apartment.
Okubo-san is not a violent person. And he hasn't even had a drink in over 6 years. Not a single drop since the incident.
But Okubo claims he doesn't remember ever drinking, that he woke up surrounded by flames. He's pleaded innocence from day one.
Yagami. Do you really have to do this? Go see Okubo, I mean.
Yeah, looks like I do.
But why?
I need to know if he was really innocent. If he killed Waku-san 3 years ago. I'm going to find the truth, Kenta-sensei.
What? In just one little prison chat?
Well, either way, I never felt like I closed the book on this. I mean, yeah, I defended him in court. But we didn't have anything definitive to prove his innocence. The only thing the ruling said was that they couldn't conclusively prove his guilt. Meaning for the public at large, he as good as did it. Okubo got laid off from his job and had his personal details smeared all over the internet.
Yeah.
The guy barely even went outside, but I didn't ask him about any of that until one day, Okubo...
And what? You think that's your fault?
I helped set a murderer loose on the world. In other words, Emi died because of me.
I'm not gonna let you do this to yourself. Do you remember your dad's last case? Must have been almost 20 years ago. Do you, Yagami?
Yeah. No way I could forget.
The defendant in that case raped and murdered a 15-year-old girl. At least that's what they said he did. Everyone in the damn country thought that guy deserved to get executed. No thoughts of innocence, except from your dad. You know how it all went down after that. He gave the prosecution what for. Your dad never compromised his ideals, no matter what. He said a lawyer's job isn't discovering the truth, or even knowing it. It's proving the prosecution doesn't have enough evidence to convict. Do you understand? That's how he saw the defense's role. It takes some real guts to say that. That's why you looked up to him. And you would have never become an attorney without his influence.
In the beginning, sure I did. But you know, a lot happened afterward, with my dad, and with me too.
Yeah.
It's possible the defendant actually was guilty. Raped the girl, killed her in cold blood. He disappeared almost immediately after the trial. So, all of the hatred, all of the anger people felt was thrown onto my dad. Not long after, he and my mom were killed by the victim's father.
Even so, I don't think your old man did anything wrong. Our job's showing that the prosecution doesn't have enough evidence, not finding the truth. And when you defended Okubo the first time around, that's exactly what you did. Listen to me, Yagami. You didn't do anything wrong.
Sure, I get what you're saying. But a girl burned to death because I was good at my job. Ever think about how that feels?
What?
It's easy to sit back and tell me I did nothing wrong, but put yourself in my shoes. Could you say you did the right thing?
That's enough! How long are you gonna let this dominate your life?
For as long as I live. Yagami speaking.
Hey, it's Hoshino. I've arranged our chat with Okubo. Meet me at the taxi stand on West Shichifuku Street. I'm on my way there now.
Got it. Thanks. I appreciate the concern.
I've said all I wanted to say. It's fine. I half knew you weren't gonna listen anyway.
Genda-sensei.
Hmm?
You and I both saw what happens when you don't pursue the truth. I can't let that go. I won't.
Over here, Yagami-san. We're finally going to see Okubo.
どちらまで行かれますか？それでは出発いたします。
Long time no see. Yagami-sensei.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I apologize. I've been alone all this time. Talking is...
Don't worry. We're not in a rush here.
You look so different.
Yeah. I haven't been back in the courtroom since the last day of our case.
Meaning you're not a lawyer?
Not quite. I'm a detective. In Kamurocho. Pays the bills, you know.
And that's all my fault?
Hey. sorry. This isn't what I came here to talk about today. 3 years ago, at the ADDC. Did you actually murder Waku-san or not?
What? Yagami, I don't understand. You know I'm innocent. I didn't murder Waku-san. Or Emi-chan. Why won't you listen to me? I told you time and time again, I didn't kill anyone! Why won't people just believe me?
The prosecution had more than enough evidence to convict you for Emi's murder. It was an open and shut case. There was nothing we could do.
Of course not. How am I gonna win when my own lawyer doesn't believe I'm innocent? Don't think I couldn't tell. Every time you went up there and tried to clear my name, you looked like you were gonna puke.
So, Okubo-san, you really didn't do it either time?
That's what I've been saying all along.
My name is Hoshino from the Genda Law Office. If you don't mind...
I do mind. It doesn't have anything to do with me.
But don't you...
It was an ADDC researcher by the name of Yoji Shono.
I remember him. But...
Here, let me explain. The drug must have killed him on the spot.
Which led him to my truck, huh?
Yeah. It must have been the only option he could think of. Things may have turned out differently had you actually reported finding Waku-san's body. But as we both know, that's not what happened.
So all this was because I buried the body?
It was a better stroke of luck. After all, the cops never even suspected him.
God damn it! I don't know what the hell I was thinking back then. It all happened so fast. I opened the truck, and the body was there. Naturally, I panicked. The police never would have believed I didn't kill the guy. Of course not. Why would they? I already had a criminal record, too. I was a fool.
Okubo. So you really were innocent after all, huh?
Do you even need to ask?
I guess not. Thank you.
Yagami-san?
Yagami-sensei! What about Emi? Aren't you gonna ask me about her? I told you before I never would have killed her!
I want to believe you. I really do. But I already did everything I could. I searched non-stop for some kind of hint. But a guy can only spend so long poring over burnt scraps of evidence. After 3 years, I'm not holding out much hope.
So... guess the real killer is still out there. Just biding his time, waiting for my execution. How are you and I gonna face Emi in the afterlife? Come on, man! Tell me how!
Yagami-san.
What's up?
I think I'm gonna head back to Genda's. What are you up to tonight?
Not sure yet. I think maybe I'll swing by Tender. I could use a drink.
Yagami-san.
I'll be alright. Later, Hoshino-kun.
いらっしゃいませ。
Good stuff.
ありがとうございました。
So, I hear you're defending Ayube.
Kuroiwa.
I had to come congratulate you myself on your triumphant return to the courtroom.
I'm not gonna be the one defending him. Just helping with the investigation.
Wasn't Shintani-sensei your mentor? You're helping to free the man who murdered him. Are you confused or just desperate for a few scraps off the table? But it wouldn't be the first murder you've set loose in our city. Not a good look.
Ayube didn't kill Shintani.
His gun begs to differ. The rifling matches the marks on the bullet.
Yeah, that's how the real killer framed him for it. If you seriously can't see that, then I'm not the confused one here.
Say what you will.
Hello? You need something?
More or less.
Doesn't look like you're here to talk.
That's right. Your little detective game's over, Yagami.
Wait, is that? Yagami-san!
Hoshino-kun, stay back!
Huh?
This guy's dangerous.
I can see that.
Die, Yagami! Die! Let's go! Damn it!
Yagami-san, are you okay?
I'm fine. But that guy,
What do you mean?
he would have killed me for sure.
Maybe one of Hamura's men?
What's up, Tuck? How'd your chat with Okubo go?
Listen, someone just tried to murder me. Probably sent by Hamura.
What? Right by the office. Got Sugiura with me, too.
Don't go back there. Not now. Oh yeah?
KJR, the Kyorin.
Wait, you're gonna go... You think they'll just let us...
Of course I do. We've got Kajira on our side. We'll go on ahead. Get your ass...
Sounds like we're meeting at KJR.
I heard.
Well, let's go.
Out of the way! Let go!
Hey. Nice try, jerk. Really, guys?
This is... the cure...
Last I checked.
Oh, this is gonna shave some...
I'm nervous, too.
Yagami-san. Who's your...
I'm,
Uh-huh. Sorry to see...
Well, if it isn't Yagami-sensei. Come in. Come in.
Huh?
Sorry about how German Kajihira's told us.
Listen to this talk. I had you all wrong, Rase. You're just a big...
Don't get too carried away, Kaito-san.
I'm gonna say that. Anyway, go on and take a load off.
If his reactions...
He might not have even killed his girlfriend.
Huh?
I'd rather not go there right now.
I've been wondering,
You curious?
Can't blame a guy for...
Well, apparently he's afraid of yakuza.
Well...
So, Shono's looking more...
About time for a good old face-to-face.
Judging from our
And we won't make it. All we do is wait in
A
the...
stakeout.
Actually, you're gonna be staying back.
Huh?
I mean, they'd catch on in a heart and Hoshino-kun.
Okay, but...
All right then. Sounds like I'm tagging along.
Yeah, let's...
Let's go, Yagami-san. Man, this place is fucking huge.
Keep it close to your chest, Sugiura. We're supposed to blend in. Now let's settle down and wait for Shono.
But what if you already went home? Come on, let's ask somebody. I don't want to sit here all...
Good point.
Let's go, Yagami.